Imagine living in a small village in 12th century England. Life is simple and peaceful. You wake up early to help your family farm crops. You tend to your animals, and in the evening, you gather around the fire with friends and neighbors. The day is filled with the familiar sounds of nature and the company of people you've known your entire life. Then one day, everything changes. One moment you are going about your daily routine, and the next you see something that makes you question everything you know about the world. Now imagine seeing two children whose skin is a vibrant green. Not just a slight shade of green, but a color so intense it looks unnatural. It's a sight that would leave anyone speechless and terrified. That is exactly what happened in the English village of Woolpit in the year 1190. And what these poor farmers saw was not a figment of their imagination, but a reality that shook the foundations of their beliefs. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit is a tale that has been passed down through generations, leaving us with more questions than answers. One summer morning, a group of farmers were working in the fields near the village of Woolpit when they noticed something peculiar. There, sitting beneath an oak tree, were two children who appeared to be lost and alone. At first glance, the children seemed perfectly ordinary, except for the fact that their skin had a strange green hue. This wasn't a subtle shade that could be mistaken for anything else. It was a vivid green that stood out against their otherwise normal features. The farmers approached cautiously, unsure of what to expect. As they drew closer, they realized that the boy and girl were dressed in clothing made of a material they had never seen before. And when they tried to speak to the children, they responded in a language that sounded alien to the villagers. Fear quickly turned to confusion and then to concern. These children weren't just different, they were utterly perplexing. Their appearance and behavior suggested they were from another world, yet they seemed harmless and, most importantly, alive. This was during a time when medicine was not well understood, and the concept of mental illness was even more obscure. Faced with something they couldn't comprehend, the villagers decided to take the children to the local church, hoping that someone there might be able to help. But even the clergymen were baffled by the children's strange appearance and unknown origins. No one in the village had ever seen anything like this before. As days turned into weeks, the villagers struggled to figure out what to do with the children. Their unusual appearance and behavior were a constant source of fascination and fear, and the lack of answers only added to the mystery. It was a time when superstition and religion played a significant role in people's lives, and the Green Children of Woolpit were seen by some as a sign of God, as power, or perhaps even a warning. Amidst all the confusion and fear, there was a glimmer of hope. Despite their strange ways, the children seemed healthy, and over time they began to adapt to life in the village. They started to learn English, allowing them to communicate with the villagers. And slowly but surely, they began to try the local food, moving away from their initial preference for raw beans. This change was nothing short of miraculous. It was as if a wall between the children and the villagers was crumbling, replaced by a fragile understanding and acceptance. The Green Children were still a mystery, but they were now less frightening and more human. The villagers, once consumed by fear and uncertainty, started to accept the children as part of their community. They learned that the boy and the girl were not just strange, they were also kind, intelligent, and hardworking. They helped out in the fields, and in return, the villagers provided them with food and shelter. Despite the progress, a dark cloud hung over the story. The boy, who had shown remarkable progress, suddenly fell ill and died. The villagers, already shaken by the mystery of his existence, were now faced with the reality of his death. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fate. Yet, amidst this tragedy, the girl continued to thrive. As she grew older, she became an integral part of the village, participating in its joys and sorrows. And when she was 16 years old, she finally revealed the truth behind their extraordinary tale. According to her, she and her brother were not from this world. They hailed from a magical land shrouded in eternal twilight, where the sun never shone and everyone had green skin. She spoke of a world that existed beyond the one the villagers knew, a realm of magic and mystery that defied their understanding. She described how she and her brother, while tending to their father's animals, had stumbled upon a strange light emanating from a nearby cave. Curiosity got the better of them, and they followed the light, only to find themselves transported to the village of Woolpit. Her story was nothing short of fantastical, a narrative that seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Yet there was a sincerity in her eyes that made the villagers believe her. As she shared her tale, the pieces of the puzzle seemed to fall into place. Their strange clothes, their unusual language, and most importantly, their green skin, all found explanation in her story. They were not just strange children. They were visitors from another world. The villagers listened intently, their faces a mixture of awe and disbelief. For years, they had pondered the existence of other worlds, of realms beyond their own. And now they were hearing firsthand from someone who had actually been there. It was a story that challenged their perception of reality, forcing them to confront the idea that there was more to the world than what they could see, hear, and touch. Yet, as incredible as her story was, there were skeptics. Some villagers, rooted deeply in their religious beliefs, found it hard to accept the notion of other worlds or magical lands. To them, the story sounded like a fairy tale, a figment of the girl's imagination. The Green Children of Woolpit remained an enigma, and their true origins were never fully revealed. Some historians believe that the girl's story was a product of her environment, shaped by the superstitions and beliefs of the time. The 12th century was a period when people were deeply influenced by religious and mythical tales, and it's possible that the girl, exposed to these stories, created her own narrative based on the elements of fantasy and magic. Others suggest that the Green Children may have suffered from a rare medical condition called chlorosis. This ailment, primarily affecting young girls, causes an increase in the amount of bile produced by the body. When this happens, the skin takes on a greenish hue due to the high concentration of bile pigments. This theory finds support in the fact that the boy did not have green skin, which could indicate that he did not suffer from chlorosis. His death could then be attributed to the medieval medical practices used to treat the condition, which were often ineffective and sometimes even harmful. However, despite these theories, there are those who believe that the story of the Green Children of Woolpit is a genuine account of an extraordinary event. They argue that the girl's story, though fantastical, holds a certain charm and truth. The idea of a world shrouded in perpetual twilight where everyone has green skin is too unique to be dismissed as a mere fabrication. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit continues to resonate through the ages, captivating the minds of those who hear it. It serves as a reminder of the mysteries that still surround our world, the unexplainable events that defy rational understanding. The Green Children remain an enigma, their true origins a secret held close by the annals of history. In the end, we are left to ponder the possibilities. Were they visitors from another world, travelers who accidentally stumbled into our realm? Did they suffer from a rare medical condition, their green skin a symptom of an illness that baffled medieval medicine? Or was it a fairy tale, a product of the girl's imagination that became intertwined with the folklore of the time? The truth, like the Green Children themselves, remains elusive, hidden from our grasp. What do you think about this mysterious case? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.